Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on World Yoga Day. And it's time to fasten your seatbelts because I'm going to take you all the way over to Amchi, Mumbai, where we have a very, very special guest. She needs no introduction, but this is for all our global audience members who joined us. Our guest today is she's a television personality, she's an actress, she's an author, she's a fitness pioneer and a mom, the lovely Mandira Bedi. Welcome to Healthify Studio.
Swati, thank you so much for your kind words. I was watching the session before as well. That's a tough act to follow. But thank you so much for having me here and thank you for introducing me.
I just wanted to ask you that how does one wear all these hats? And in all of this, how did fitness happen?
Well, it's been a long journey in the entertainment business. It's been like close to 22, 23 years. So it's been a very long time. And by God's grace, I'm very, very grateful for all the wonderful opportunities that have come my way. And I suppose when there's no monotony, there's a lot of interesting things that keep happening. You love your job and you learn to multitask. And I think, when you become a parent, that's when you really learn how to multitask. Because before I became a parent, people used to say to me, how do you manage to do so many things? And I'm like, it's tough. And then after I became a parent, I'm like, now that's tough, to find time for your children, to find time for your work, and to find time to take care of yourself. Self-love is very, very important. I learned it very late in my life. But self-love does not mean selfishness. It means taking care of yourself. So you're the best version of yourself for everyone around you. You're the best version of yourself for your children, for your family, for your husband, for your parents, and for your work, the work that you do. So I've started practicing self-love only recently and loving myself only recently. And yoga has become a part of my journey as well. Before it only used to be exercise, but now yoga has given me a lot of balance, which was much needed in my life.
That's so beautifully put, Mandira. But how have you managed to keep up with all that and the pandemic, right? Like, do you get out to the gym, or how did you figure it out while the whole world's been locked down?
I must tell you this, in the last 1.5 years, 1 year and a couple of months, that, the pandemic has hit us, I have been to the gym probably twice. Okay. So once I went to the gym just when I'd gathered up my courage to start going to the gym again. And then of course things got a little crazy and gyms shut. And one other time I went when I'd gone on a staycation in the hotel. That particular hotel gym was empty and was open. So twice in the last 1 year and maybe 3-4 months. So, this pandemic has taught us to become Atmanirbhar in the truest sense. I always was, because I traveled so much, I was always used to exercising in hotel rooms, exercising with a shortage of time and space. But now I've kind of made it a way of my life. I found spaces in my house. I keep trying to mix things up so I don't get bored. Sometimes I work out in my compound. So you've got to, keep things fresh, keep yourself going. And, the one thing I'm truly grateful for during this pandemic is the fact that we have technology, is the fact that we have, places to go to, like, virtually, like, a Healthify Studio where you can learn, where you can, and, exercise, working out, yoga, all of this is always a work in progress. It's not something that you've learned it and you know it and you're that's it. You have to keep on improving yourself. You have to keep on practicing. There's so much out there to learn, on the internet. And like I said, places like Healthify Studio where you can learn, where you can get motivated. A lot of people know it, but they don't have the motivation to keep themselves going for those how many ever minutes. Or I work out for an hour and 20 or an hour and a half every single day, whatever it is, be it yoga, be it walking, be it running, be it cardio. But I give myself 1.5 hours. And everybody doesn't have the motivation. Sometimes even I'm not motivated. So I switch on, the television and find a workout that, will push me. So I think technology has been extremely extremely helpful. I mean, the fact that we are sitting right now like this, having a conversation, talking about health. In a little while, I'm going to be showing you my yoga moves, what I do to keep my balance. So and during this pandemic, apart from the exercise and workout has always been a part of my life. Well, it's been a part of my life since 2008, but yoga has come into my life over the last few years, and especially during this pandemic, I suffered anxiety as well. I went through a lot of stress as well, and I looked up, asanas that work to help you with your stress, to help you with your anxiety. So that's why I put together a couple of, a small little session with some core strength moves and some anti-anxiety, anti-stress moves. And that's what the plan is for today for me.
Awesome. So that sounds great. So Madhura, the floor is yours, and we're ready to work out with you.
What mine is going to be it's going to be a slightly dynamic kind of class, because I'm not very good with the slow, but as they say in about yoga, sukham sthiram asan. If a posture gives you peace, if it gives you stillness, that's go with that. Go with the flow. With yoga, it's always about going with the flow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little warm-up. So there are going to be some core strength moves. There are going to be some postures. There are going to be some anti-anxiety postures. And that's the plan. I will give you a count. And remember, I don't also like to tell people should not forget to breathe. They should just breathe at their own pace. That's what I like. So I won't lead the breathing, but I will keep reminding you to breathe, and I'm going to keep a count of the time. I would love to see the entire screen covered with people, following along and doing this with me. It would make me very, very happy. So I am going to sit like this. All right. And we're going to start with a few deep breaths. As I said, I'm not going to lead the deep breaths. Just for the next few seconds, deep breathe in. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale the good, the positive, the beautiful. Exhale the negative, the dark, the toxic. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Now I'm going to be doing some neck rolls, just to, get your neck ready for all that we're going to do. So you're going to start with your chin to your chest, move to your right, move back, move to your left, back down. The other direction, left shoulder, back, right shoulder, center. Then we're going to do some shoulder rolls. You can put your hands on your shoulders and you can roll inwards like this. 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to twist our midsection. Put your right hand on your left knee and turn. Don't forget to breathe, and put your left hand on your right knee and your right hand behind you. Twist. Right, now we're going to do a side stretch. You can put your elbow down, or you can even keep your hand by your side and lift your opposite hand and go down. If you can go all the way down like this, you get a deeper stretch. Feel that stretch on your side. And come up. And then on the opposite side, as I said, you can put your hand down and bend, or you can put your elbow down. This gives you a deeper stretch. All right. And now we do a forward fold in this position. Just reach out your hands and go down as far as you can. If you can touch your forehead to the floor, do so. Walk out with your fingers. Don't forget to breathe. All right. In my terms, this was the warm-up and we're good to go. We're good to begin with the core strength moves. And so we're going to begin with the high plank. It's called the Kumbhaka Asana. And it's this is how you start. You get on all fours like this. Your wrists should be below your shoulders and your knees should be below your hips. And then you bring your toes out and try and keep your body in a straight line. If you can't lift your knees, you can be even in this position. You get the support of your knees, but if you can do a proper plank, we're going to hold for 30 seconds, starting now. Nice, deep, long breaths. Five seconds to go. Beautiful. I'm going to give you a few seconds rest before we get to the side plank, Vasishthasana. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side. I'm going to show it to you before you get into it. You can do a complete side plank on your wrist, or you could take the help of your knee. You can go this way, or you could go, if you want to challenge yourself more. Remember, we're going to be holding for 30 seconds. You can go this way. So whatever you are comfortable with, remember, do what your body can take. Be comfortable. Do not injure yourself. Your body talks to you. Your body tells you when it can take, the limits it can take. So let's begin with the side plank on the right side. I'm beginning with the right side. I'm going to go all the way up and we're going to hold for 30 seconds. Don't forget, stop, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Don't stop breathing. 15 seconds done, 15 to go. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. take a few seconds rest. Get onto your knees in Vajrasana. We're going to move to the other side. So we've done the high plank. We've done the side plank on the right side. Now we're going to do the side plank on the left side. Vasishthasana. And whenever you're ready, just remember, you can take the help of your lower leg. You can go like this as well. It is, of course, more challenging if you lift both legs. And you can begin now. Don't stop breathing. Seconds done. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Get back into Vajrasana. The next move that we're going to do is, I love it. I use it a lot, even on days that I'm not practicing yoga. And that is, of course, downward dog. Don't we all love doing downward dog? For me, because I also go running quite a lot, and I have a lot of issues with my ankles, with my calves, the back of my legs. But ever since I started practicing the downward dog before I run and after I run. I do it for a few minutes before my run and a few minutes after my run. And I've had no leg problems, no ankle problems, no calf problems, no pulls. So it's a beautiful stretch, and it's a great core move. And it is also wonderful, to beat anxiety, to beat stress. So here too, the wrists need to be below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. You get onto your toes and try and bring your ankles down as far as possible. You lengthen that spine. Just remember that whatever you can do, the amount you can do is okay. There was a time where my ankles were up here and I practiced and managed to get them further down. I can't say they're flat down yet, or as flat as I'd like them to be. We'll hold for another 20 seconds. If you want, you can even alternate like this, left and right. If this gives you relief, it makes you feel better. Otherwise, you can keep both of them down. There you go. We did 30 seconds of downward dog. I absolutely love it. It is a part of my workout. It is a part of the mix, literally 4 or 5 times a week, whether or not I'm practicing yoga. All right, now we're going to do another core move that I absolutely love. It's called bird dog. Isn't it amazing how yoga takes so much from nature? All the poses, all the best poses, I'd like to believe, are, they come from animals. So this is the bird dog, where you get into that same starting position with your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And what you need to do is you need to lift your left hand and your right leg. So over here, we're not going to hold for a number of seconds. We're going to do a couple of counts, maybe 5 on each side. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. How did that feel? If you want to challenge yourself to the next level, you can even do it in a lower plank like this, where you have to lift your right foot and left hand, and then the opposite side. This is way harder. So bird dog that we just did is also an excellent move for the core. Now, before we move to the back, before we move to the anti-anxiety, anti-stress postures, I want to do the bow posture, which is very beautiful. It opens out your back. So you lie down on your stomach. Remember, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds as well. So this is the position you're starting at. Try and grab your ankles and lift your upper body and lift your knees off the ground. Your 30 seconds started about 5 seconds ago. Try and hold it. Keep breathing. Another 10 seconds. And that was beautiful. And now, before we get into the next set of exercises, to set the tone for the next set of exercising, the most relaxing asana is Balasana, which is child's pose. So you get down and put your head on the floor, reach your hands out. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Reach out as far as you can. Another option to child's pose is if you separate your legs, and this gives you a beautiful stretch in your legs. All right, are you ready for all the poses I used every time I got stressed out and worried, and I am prone to anxiety, and there were times when I was very anxious during the lockdown, and I looked these up and they worked for me. So we're going to start with, since we're in this position, we're going to start with, see, another animal, cat and cow, another two animals. Cat, cow can be done when you're on your all fours like this, and arch your back up, and then you bring your head up and arch your back inwards. We'll do 10 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back feels nice and stretched, nice and worked out with the cat-cow. We're going to go into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Lie down on your stomach and keep your hands under your shoulders and push yourself up and all the way up and look at a point on the ceiling and come back down. And now move your hands back and see how much further you can stretch when you push yourself back. And now see how much further you're able to stretch back. Back to the first position under your shoulders. Now that slightly altered hand position. Back to the position under your shoulders. Back to the second position. This is a little bit below your chest, somewhere near your ribs, lower ribs. Once again, and last time. Give yourself a beautiful stretch. Feel your back really stretch. Put your hands down. Take a few deep breaths. And now, before we move and get on our backs, we're going to do Malasana. Nice little transition. I mean, what would a workout with me be without the yoga version of a squat? So here's Malasana. Keep your feet hip width apart. Keep them flat, don't go onto your toes. And let's hold here for 30 seconds. Squats are such an important part of my everyday workout. So when I'm practicing yoga, I have to do the yoga version of it as well. Another 10 seconds to go. And we are done. Now I'm going to request you to sit down. We are going to do the bridge, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, and for that I want you to lie down flat and lift your buttocks, lift your legs, your hips up, and try and keep your body in as straight a line as possible. The bridge, I love this exercise. This is great for the core. I can go on and on doing repetitions of this, even with a weight on my torso. But just for the moment, we're holding for another 15 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Nice. Beautiful long breaths. And you can bring yourself down. Next up, we're going to do the reverse tabletop. So for the reverse tabletop, keep your hands in the general direction of the rest of your body. And we're going to hold for 30 seconds and lift your torso up. Your body should resemble a table. And your 30 seconds start now. Remember, do what you can. Don't push your body. Your body knows its limits. Don't injure yourself. Your body talks to you. Last 5 seconds. That was the reverse tabletop. And now we're already on 24 minutes. I had a couple of other things lined up. How about we do a nice stretch with a forward fold? We stretch because we've exercised and we stretched our back out. Let's stretch it in the opposite direction, the spine in the opposite direction. So reach out and grab your ankles, grab your toes, grab your heels, whatever you can. If you can touch your forehead to your knees, go ahead and do so. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, given that I don't want anybody to be trying a headstand or handstand at home, I do lots of headstands and handstands. I taught myself how to do it. I thought maybe we could do a shoulder stand or candle. And it's one of my favorite exercises. It's fantastic for the core, for the shoulders. So maybe we can end with that. So I'm requesting you to all lie down and raise your legs. And then with the help of your hands, lift up your hips. For those of you who can touch your toes to the floor, those of you who can and who practiced it before, do so. Else, keep yourself balanced up here. I'm going to try and take my legs over my head into Halasana. You can keep your hands flat, or you can intertwine them. We'll hold for 30 seconds. For those of you who can hold the candle long enough, continue to do so. Else, you can bring your legs down. We'll hold for another 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to bring my legs up. And back down. Like I said, I had a lot planned, but we have a slight shortage of time. So I am going to request you to all close your eyes. It's been a slightly strenuous class, strenuous session. Everybody loves the Shavasana because it relaxes all parts of your body that have been stretched, elongated, worked upon. Keep breathing in and out. Feel your heart rate coming down. Feel your legs heavy and relaxed. Feel your back, which has been worked upon quite a bit, slowly relaxing. Feel your arms and hands heavy on the floor. Feel your shoulders, taken the weight of your body and your day. Also relax completely. Heart rate is slowing down. Face is also completely relaxed. Feeling like you've had a dynamic yoga session. Heart rate did go up. You pushed yourself. Now you're feeling very good for it. Keep your eyes closed. And turn yourself to one side. Slowly. Sit up. Keep your eyes closed. Be grateful to your body for supporting you. Be grateful for the love that you get from your family. Be grateful for the roof over your head. Be grateful for the food on your table. It's always nice to end on a note of gratitude. Before I open my eyes every morning, even I say thank you first. So before you open your eyes as well, So a big thank you to the universe, the higher power you believe in, for all that is going right, for all that you do have. On that note, you can rub your hands, generate a little bit of warmth, cover your eyes, slowly open your eyes, and to all of you who followed, to all of you who took part in this with me, I say thank you. And it makes me really happy that I can see so many people who are sitting on their mats who followed this session. So thank you very much. I bow my head down in thanks and gratitude.
Thank you so much, Mandira. That was really amazing. It was hard keeping up with you, but thank you for giving us the version. But yeah, it was super amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And honestly, along with yoga came my driving force, which is gratitude. And honestly, at the end of every session, be it yoga, be it exercise, be it a run, I always end on a note of gratitude. We have to be thankful for our bodies. They're supporting us the way they are. And, there's so much in times like this when things are going wrong, there are also things that are going right. And if we focus on the positives and we focus on the things that we do have, as opposed to the things we don't have, I've read this somewhere, you can never be grateful and unhappy at the same time. So whenever and wherever there is gratitude, there is no room for unhappiness. So that is my parting sort of thought to all of you. And I end on a note of gratitude, saying thank you very much for having me and having me do this session with you. And all of you, please follow all protocols. Things might have opened up a little bit, but I still think it's safer to be home, practice from the comfort of your home, exercise from home. Like work from home has become a thing, exercise from home has also become a thing. And a big thank you to Healthify Studio for having sessions like this, that you can keep yourself going, keep yourself fit, keep yourself active, even from the comfort of your home. So please stay safe, stay healthy, stay indoors, keep that immunity high, and stay positive.